Hi, I'm Mike James, and I'd like to welcome you today to Mike James Project. This is a channel where I discuss leadership, I discuss business, and I discuss things that are happening globally that will affect us tomorrow. Hi, so welcome to Mike James Project. And if this is your first time on this channel, I'd like you to consider subscribing. It allows YouTube to, help us grow the algorithm, and it allows the authenticity of what I say on this channel. So please consider just giving us a thumb up on the channel. So let's dive into it. So today I'd like to bring us back to the subject of no limit. No limit is this is something that I wrote in my book, The Stripe of Greatness. No limit is in the form of when we consider the area of growth, and when I mean growth and limitations, these are things that I personally practice even in business. Now, no limit, even though that we believe strongly on the fact that we can do whatever we want to do and we can go wherever we want to go, but let's remember something. Limitations are usually, as it's been written multiple times, that they are in a mind that is. So this is what I've learned over my time in business. Limitations are usually placed in the mind like it is broadly discussed across different spheres of life. But let's look at what has happened over the years. The man who discovered the airplane were people that came in once in a generational time to be able to do that. And remember that when they worked on discovering the airplane, which I mean the Wright brothers, it went through a lot of limitations and non-limitation. That one, the limitation was that it was something that was already termed to be impossible. Okay. Then the next was that it was the group of people that believed that it is something that is possible. Now, the airplane that we use today is more safe than the one that was discovered when it was first discovered. Now, when you look back from the time that it was discovered, and 10 years into that, there was massive, constant evolution of air crash and air problem. Okay, but that evolution changed the way the world evolved and the way we tend to travel today. But the limitations was that if we're going to do it, yeah, people will die, but and eventually it's going to create a way of life whereby people will appreciate, and it's going to live longer. Now, the Wright brothers are gone, but the invention still remains. When the electricity came up, which was the discovery of electrical power, it came with a lot of disruptions. So when that was discovered, at the first discovery was not perfect, but over time, human and the inventors create a more discovery, or there's a more technology and there's a more thing that has been added to that, so that eventually it serves us today. When it was first discovered, a lot of houses were blown up. Things were not working the way they actually thought it's going to work. People were skeptical about things. So these are one of a time discovery that human always get to that point where things are discovered so that it benefits. And during those discoveries part, there's something that usually happens, adaptation. We usually do not adapt to changes. When the dot-com bubble was going to happen back in the 1990s into the 2000s, what happened is that most people were skeptical. But what happened is that it brought a lot of people out of poverty and also plunges a lot of people into poverty, and sometimes even disrupted other people's life whereby they're no longer there. So limitations are usually, or no limit are usually, when we look at ourselves or what we are doing in business, is that we understand that this thing that we are bringing to life Number one will be a thing that eventually is going to serve a long-term purpose. But number two is that the limitation will be that to what extent is this thing going to benefit, or to what extent do I have to stop doing it so that eventually it leads forward. Okay, so at any point in time, let's look at the internet, for example. Many people have become extremely wealthy because of the internet. So a lot of way that we get a lot of way that we are now accustomed to wealth is different. Okay, before we have a day job, and of course the business atmosphere was still there, but the predominant way people get wealthy was, okay, it's either you invest in the stock market, or it's either you own a business and you have a job, or you have a 401k, or at the same time, or you are, you're a scientist, you belong to you are providing a certain kind of service that is not readily available to everyone. So there are a lot of ways where people got wealthy, but today, the way that people get wealthy today, it's more. When I mean wealthy, I mean the legal way. Okay, I don't because there are different illegal things you can do to get money to get wealthy, but I mean the legal way of getting wealthy, whereby you can place yourself at a pedestal whereby money can come to you by doing some certain thing. Before the TikTok even came along, most people and most social media company, let's say like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, were basically not YouTube. We're basically not adapting to more on monetization in terms of creators monetization. When TikTok came along, challenged that status quo. And when you look at today, all of the platforms are gearing towards embracing monetization. Why? Because there's a little app that came and created a disruption whereby how many people has become millionaires today because of TikTok? It's uncountable. So if you look at this, always this time in human existence where something comes along and create a new set of economy whereby people benefit from. Okay, when we have the blockchain has disrupted a lot of financial market and stuff, and most people have lost. And there are people that has also benefited, claim to benefited from blockchain, and there are most people that have been disadvantaged on blockchain. So everything that comes in our time in business, we must understand that there's always a no limit platform to what we can do. And at the same time, having the same mindset of understanding that there's a limit to what you can do so that you can live another day. Because if you live in a sense of no limitations and whatever you have, you want to get involved with everything that is available, now you're going to lose. You want to be skeptical and move carefully when you are processing and looking at different areas that you want to gain attraction from. Okay, so what happened today? Every platform, including YouTube, Facebook, all areas have been monetized, including a platform like Twitter. And today I'm thinking that the same thing is actually heading towards LinkedIn. Okay, so why is this happening? Because there's a disruption. And when there's a disruption, it comes with wealth. It comes with a no limit wealth, and it comes with a limit wealth. So it only goes to few people. That not everybody always survive in disruptions. Few people do make it, and there are people that it becomes a disadvantage too. But what we want to communicate is how to be able to understand where you are and how you take the no limit stuff that is in front of you, the things that are coming to create disruption. Today, for example, we talk about AI.